House getting in a bus crash, figuring out Amber was there. What else could possibly happen in this upcoming episode? Join me as we watch the second episode in this two-part series. We're watching House Season 4, Episode 16, Wilson's Heart. Let's jump right in.
Her heart won't stop racing. No idea what's causing it.
Sure it wasn't the bus that landed on her?
It's not trauma. She was stable post-op. This didn't start until an hour ago.
My God. Delayed reaction to the trauma. She lost both her kidneys in the bus crash. Ripped up her femoral artery.
We fixed the artery. Got her on dialysis for the kidneys.
We're 15 minutes away from Princeton Plainsboro by ambulance.
You want to move her? Her heart rate is 130.
She's hemodynamically stable. We're moving her.
You're not her doctor. You can't make that decision.
Her husband can. Right?
Move her.
That was a lot of information to digest in a very short amount of time. First of all, is she fully hemodynamically stable when they don't really know why her heart is racing? Is she an AFib? Does she have some other heart arrhythmia that's going on? There's a lot more that they need to look into before they define her as totally stable. Second of all, she lost both her kidneys in the crash and is on dialysis. That is not someone that I would really want to transport. Totally unethical of them to say Wilson is her husband. I recognize that their hospital is, of course, the best because House is there and this is how these TV shows work. But that is totally unethical and I can definitely see it coming to bite them in the ass very quickly.
VFib. Charging.
Okay.
Claire.
Wait. Protective hypothermia.
Want to freeze her? Her heart's not beating.
Her heart's already damaged. You restart it, it'll keep racing, shoot off free radicals, and kill her brain. We ice her down, put her on bypass until you've diagnosed her.
No, even if they do that cooling to protect her heart, that is definitely something that is done, although it seems to have fallen out of favor very recently. There are more studies that show that it's not quite as effective as we think it is. You have to have a functioning heart that is still beating in order to do this. Granted, he said that he would put her on bypass, but they have to restart her heart now to protect it, to protect her, before they go through this whole cooling and ECMO process.
This is not a solution. All you're doing is pressing pause.
It gives you more time to find a diagnosis. House, this is Amber. Please.
Cold saline solution.
Nope, that's not legit. Not legit at all. They have to restart her heart. That is a non-negotiable. She was in VFib, which is absolutely a heart rhythm that needs to be shocked. If she was completely pulseless, which at some point I heard, flatline, then they need to start chest compressions.
Can't see wall motion when there's no motion. EKG, nope. Heart's in the off position. Thallium uptake scan, useless on a cold heart.
Yeah, we get it. Her heart's not beating. It's gonna make it harder to diagnose. On the other hand, she's not gonna die while you're whining about it. What else?
There is another way to narrow it down. If you really did see a symptom in Amber before the crash, physostigmine helped your memory last time.
Why not cyanide? He's a mess. He needs to sleep.
Sometimes these shows just crack me up. So they're gonna induce another cardiac arrest in House so that they could potentially save Amber. Weird to you? Weird to me.
I had a heart attack this morning. Can't do any more drugs till lunch. Get her an angiogram. Could show damage even in a stopped heart. Rest of you search her apartment. Toxins, heavy metals, drugs, anything that might make her heart race.
Cocaine?
You were obviously drinking last night. Maybe you took Amber to a bar.
I left here on my motorcycle alone.
You ended up drunk on a bus. Together. Maybe you met Amber in the bar.
I was not having an affair with her.
You can't really say that if you don't remember.
I lost 4 hours, not 4 months.
Maybe it was the first time. If you drank together, any chance you did any drugs?
They could do a urine drug screen. Granted, if her kidneys have completely shut down and she's not made urine, that might be problematic. But they could insert a Foley and see if there's any urine that was made at this point. Or you can do a serum drug screen and check her for any drugs, including things like cocaine.
As long as we don't know what's wrong, we don't know what's relevant.
Yeah. Maybe they're having sex on a pile of asbestos. Go watch it.
If we were in a stranger's house, you'd be watching the video.
You altered your behavior because you're friends with her.
Are you okay?
We shouldn't be treating her at all.
I'm gonna search her bathroom.
She makes an excellent point. When you're treating family or friends, it's entirely possible that a doctor's judgment can get clouded because they care so deeply about the person that they're treating that either A, they can look far too deep into something that shouldn't even be looked at, or B, the opposite, they can miss stuff because they don't want to know really. For example, if she's been doing a whole bunch of drugs behind their back, that's not something that they want to know as her friends, but that is definitely something that they would need to know as her doctors. And having that separation, having that boundary is really important. There is the caveat that in an emergency situation, you can legally and really ethically, morally treat your family or friends. But this wasn't exactly an emergency situation in that way. She was already at a hospital being treated by a full team. House and Wilson just really wanted her at their hospital so that they could figure out what was wrong with her. And that just overall is a bit unethical.
Electricity. I know I saw the symptom. I know the memory is locked in my brain. Now I know how to get it.
No.
You don't even know what I'm talking about.
You need to rest. I have yet to hear about any study linking electricity and rest.
Deep brain stimulation. It's been proven. Electrical impulses applied directly to the hypothalamus can evoke detailed memories.
Okay, so this man with what seems to be already a traumatic brain injury, at least a concussion, right, is trying to have electrodes implanted into his brain for deep brain stimulation, otherwise known as DBS. Usually it's actually used for things like Parkinson's, dystonia, essential tremors, Huntington's disease, epilepsy, OCD, even chronic pain, but it is not used to retrieve memories.
Found these in her apartment. Sorry. Prescription diet pills, SSRIs, amphetamines.
Diet pills cause structural damage to the mitral valve, could explain the tachycardia.
She'd have to be an addict to take enough for it to damage her heart. I'd know.
Did you know she was hiding them in her vitamins?
We have to warm her back up, get her heart beating so we can do a CT to confirm.
No, we've been over this. Starting her heart could cause brain damage, could burn out the heart muscle.
Test her heart without starting it. Crack her chest open, reach a finger inside the pulmonary vein, run it across the valve.
That's the safer course.
It is if we're wrong.
When did we start assuming we're wrong?
Taking SSRIs, which are selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, is not something that would cause heart failure, especially if she's taking it in therapeutic doses. I highly doubt that an intelligent physician would take super therapeutic doses of SSRIs or amphetamines. It just doesn't seem logical. Amphetamines can definitely cause tachycardia. It is possible in super therapeutic doses, so doses that are way too high, much higher than she should be taking, that it could cause a non-ischemic cardiomyopathy. But again, that's also not going to cause calcified valves like what House is explaining here.
Wait. Look at her eye.
She's jaundiced.
Her liver's not working.
Diet pills don't kill the liver.
Why is she jaundiced? It's strange to me that this is how they discover that there's an issue with the liver. I would expect them to have been doing labs. A metabolic panel is something that's pretty standard to be done every day pretty much in the hospital. And you would see liver enzymes and bilirubin levels in that metabolic panel.
Did she seem sick?
She sneezed. I gave her a napkin.
Did you see the color of the sputum?
I assume sputum means snot. Look, I see a lot of drunk chicks in here. I didn't have time to stop and analyze the color of your girlfriend's boogers.
She's not my girlfriend, genius.
She was hot. You seemed into her, and she bought you drinks. Last night, she was your girlfriend.
Blood in the sputum could mean parasites. Any recent travel?
Blood in the sputum could mean parasites. It could also mean a fungal infection, could mean TB, could mean pneumonia. It could mean a whole bunch of other things. Why is he jumping to parasites? When we are trying to determine a diagnosis of some sort of infection, travel is a very important question to ask. Looking for endemic parasites, bacteria, viruses, etc. from the place that that person traveled to is extremely helpful.
Tell me that the liver biopsy showed infiltrates, minor inflammation.
Yeah. How?
Snot on a napkin. At the heart, infiltrates.
Hep B.
Start her on IV interferon. I'll go tell Wilson.
Good idea. And I'll go nap because I was concussed last night and had a heart attack this morning. I'll tell Wilson. You go sleep.
Hep B is pretty easy to confirm if that is the diagnosis. They should be running a serum antigen and antibody test. I don't know why they haven't done that before they go tell Wilson and confirm it for him.
You're right. I'm screwing up.
Why are you screwing up?
I didn't even like her.
Did you hate her?
Not enough to want her dead.
So it's not guilt. That just leaves fear. A young woman dying. A young doctor dying, in fact. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah. I'm at risk for Huntington's. I've dealt with it.
By not getting tested. Dealing with it by not dealing with it. It's clearly working beautifully.
Such a tough situation because she's trying to deal with her own stuff. And this is an acquaintance of hers, clearly not someone she liked very much, but still, she's internalizing a lot of this. And it makes sense why she's so scared.
Restart her heart.
Well, you're not. There's still time to undo this. Cool her back down.
You weren't taking the safe approach. We've got to know if the antibiotics are working.
Her EEG slowed. Amber. Amber. Well done. We still don't know what it is, but you've just let it spread to her brain.
So much drama. Oh my goodness. I am seriously curious to find out what the ultimate diagnosis is.
You went behind my back. You went behind House's back.
Inside voices.
House wanted to warm her up. You just guilted him into changing his mind. Heart, liver, rash, and now her brain.
Autoimmune fits best. Crash trauma could have set it off. Start her on prednisone. Warm her up again.
House, if this is some other infection, the steroids will trash her immune system.
He is not wrong. They haven't mentioned tuberculosis yet, and bloody sputum affecting the lungs, the heart, the liver. Are we dealing with miliary TB? Miliary TB is essentially when someone has tuberculosis, it enters the bloodstream and spreads or disseminates throughout the entire body. It can affect pretty much any organ system.
You said you wanted to try deep brain stimulation.
There's no reason. We know the symptom, we know what I saw.
What if it's not the rash? What if you noticed the rash in the ambulance or when we were putting her on bypass? What if there is still something else stuck inside your head?
You think I should risk my life to save Amber's?
This is so wrong. What are they doing? I just can't. I can't with this. Wilson, I get it. He's a grieving family member, but really, is he really doing this? Isn't House like his best friend? Not to mention the fact that this probably isn't actually going to help him retrieve memories. Although with the way these shows tend to go, it probably will give us some information.
Who are you calling?
Darla Wilson.
I was on call.
Oh.
Amber was home.
Oh no, he was trying to get Wilson to pick him up. Oh God, the guilt that Wilson will feel. That's horrendous. That's just awful.
I said to find Wilson.
He's working, and I'm willing to suffer this indignity on his behalf.
Does she seem sick?
Not yet.
Come on, time to go.
Whoa, need another round? And a drink for what passes for a lady around here. It's your poison.
Nothing. We're leaving.
She's just like, I want to get the fuck out of here. I do not want to be here with this dude right now. I'm just helping my boyfriend.
Don't do it. It wasn't the flu. It's what she did for it. She has amantadine poisoning.
Amantadine these days is not actually used as an antiviral. We do now have Tamiflu, which is what we use to treat the flu. Amantadine is actually no longer recommended because of widespread viral resistance to it, but it is commonly used as a Parkinson's drug. Obviously, Amber doesn't have Parkinson's, but she's using it to treat the flu.
House suffered a complex partial seizure. A violent shaking widened his skull fracture, causing a brain bleed. We won't know if there's any cognitive impairment until he's out of the coma. He was right about the amantadine. Amber's body couldn't filter it out, and that's what caused her heart to beat too fast for too long. It caused irreparable structural damage. Didn't matter if they shocked her or froze her. Her heart was dead once it stopped in an ambulance.
So amantadine definitely can cause cardiac arrhythmias if it beats too fast for too long, especially with an abnormal rhythm. People definitely can go into heart failure. This is an awful situation. Poor Wilson, poor House. Ugh, poor Amber. She was just trying to get over the flu that she probably caught at the hospital.
We could wean her off anesthesia, wake her up, give you a chance to...
Be cruel. Don't...
Wake Amber up. See her again. Tell her what she means to you.
Wake her up to tell her that she's...
You are waking her up so that you can both say goodbye to each other. She would want it.
The tough call. I don't even know what I would do in that situation. I totally understand from Wilson's point of view because he can say goodbye even if she's sedated. This is so f***ing sad.
Do you remember what happened?
I got on the bus. I shouldn't have gotten on the bus.
No. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
How bad?
You had tachycardia. It's complicated by complete renal failure. Tachycardia degenerated into VFib, followed by hepatic failure.
I can't imagine what she's thinking, figuring out with all this information that she does not have a chance. That is awful.
The flu pills. I'm dead.
Yeah, after her heart degenerated into VFib and it was clear that she was in heart failure and her other organs started failing, the damage was already done.
It's okay.
It's not okay. Why is it okay with you? Why aren't you angry?
That's not the last feeling I want to experience.
Well, love is a great last feeling to experience. Wow. God, that's sad.
Because life shouldn't be random. Because lonely, misanthropic drug addicts should die in bus crashes. Young do-gooders in love get dragged out of their apartment in the middle of the night should walk away clean.
Self-pity isn't like you.
Branching out from self-loathing, self-destruction. Wilson is gonna hate me.
So many complex emotions and just things going on here, and just so much guilt and trauma to work through after this. Drama in these shows tends to come with trauma, doesn't it?
Hey. I'm here. Blink if you can hear me. No, shh. Don't try to talk.
Him actually blinking there tells us a whole lot. Cognition is there because he's heard Cuddy, he's understood her and been able to follow a command, and then actually physically been able to do that. So even though that was a very, very simple thing for him to do, that is a lot for him to show us.
Baby sleeps in all my bones, so scared to be alone.
Man, that is so much for everyone to be dealing with. Wilson is going to be going seriously through the stages of grief. Grief sucks and it's deep, and they're all gonna feel this. Y'all, this was a fantastic 2-episode arc that ended really, really freaking sad. Thank you to whoever recommended this. I actually really thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. If you did, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. It really helps the girl out. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Jess the MD. I really enjoyed spending time with you. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me, and I will see you in the very next one. Bye.